When people really say your own is too much, you don't know the weight of my salvation. The weight of my salvation, I would do anything to keep it.
What would you say, like techniques or strategies that helped you to sustain that life after them? Because I know it's not easy pulling out from that kind of circle, pulling out, from that kind of phase, that kind of life. How did you do it?
That's all you've known. So it will be difficult. That's why a lot of people relapse when they're done with substance, when they're, they've gone for treatments and they're out of substance use. Because it's familiar territory to your brain. It's familiar territory to you. They say even your cells keep count. Do you understand? That's why it's very important that people are you know what your triggers are. You must know what triggers you. How did I manage? I threw myself into the work of God. Completely. You talked about passion.
Yeah.
People don't understand why I am so passionate, because that place is, at that time, it was everything to me. It was life. It was lifeline. So I was too passionate. If you couldn't spoil anything.
Wow.
So when people look at you just carry mempe for your head. I knew what
you don't know what.
I know what it did for me. So you couldn't even sit down in a funny manner. I'll come and tell you, sit down well. Don't spoil mempe for me. You couldn't throw tissue on the floor. I'll pick it if you won't pick it. Because I needed to make sure that this sanctuary that served me and saved me is preserved.
Wow.
It was important to me. So it's so deep that I manipulated the day I will have my son. I waited for him for 10 years. I manipulated the day I will have him to be on the day of my salvation. So I had my son on the 5th of April as well. And I intend to actually lead him to Christ on his 3rd birthday on that same day, because that day is our day of salvation. All of us will hold on to this Jesus. One of the things that I did was throw myself in, like I said. And then I avoided everything that will take me back. Because no matter how much you are out of the environment of the substance use, you need to still be in touch with the fact that your filing cabinets in your brain can open very quickly. Don't be overconfident. You can go from 0 to 100 in minutes.
Wow.
You can think that, oh no, I mean, I know someone who's been sober for 20 years. We were meant to have a program, and then I kept trying to reach her and I couldn't reach her. Then one day her son just calls me back and says, I'm sorry you can't reach mom because she's been admitted in a facility. And I'm like, what's going on? He said, mom has relapsed. I'm like, calm down. It's been 20 years. He said, yes, 20 years. So you can't get overconfident. You must know what your triggers are, whether it's your people, the people around you, your friends. I changed all my friends. I didn't see my friends, my old friends, for like maybe 7 years in the same city. 7 straight years in the same city. I didn't see them. I avoided places that I had anything to do. I lived in an area of town, and there was a bar that was there that I used to be at every day. That bar was so bad that I'll come down from work and say, okay, I just want to go there, buy chicken wings, and I'll be out. But by the time I enter there at 5 p.m, is when the DJ is telling me, auntie, carry your leg, I want to roll my wire at 6 a.m. that I'll be out. So I moved out from that place completely because those places were triggers for me. So I moved out. I know someone that relocated from a state because of that. Yes. Wow. You have to be brutally honest with yourself and be committed to your own change and your own growth. God is helping you. However, the devil is also trying to drag you back. You have to find a way to cooperate with one person, either the devil or God. So when you want to cooperate with God, you follow and go where he says you should go, because the devil wants to get you back. You staying in that same place and thinking, no, don't worry about, I got this. You're cooperating with the devil because anything can happen. And then you can be thinking you're okay now, and then next thing you relapse. So I didn't see my friends. I relocated from that area. I threw myself into the work of God, because that's another thing that happens when you're bored. That's why some people say that the idle mind is the devil's workshop. So I threw myself into that.
You taught everything goes into.
Then there was a scripture that made me realize that there is no going back. You see that scripture that says that when the devil, the demon is cast out of a man, he goes for a while, then comes back to see that it's swept clean. And if he sees that there is nothing there, he comes back with 7 more demons. I was afraid of the 7 stronger demons that will come back. So, you know what, let's stay with this God. I feel our heart to the Lord. So that when this demon of addiction comes back, he's not going to find me empty. That is what held me. That's what held me. And even then, I almost relapsed. when I had my son. And that was not even a heart that was unswept. So you understand that there are physical parts to this as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ma, for sharing that. Know your tree, then know your tree and avoid them. Thank you for sharing that. You know, I sometimes I just look when I see people on that path. I have a loved one, a friend that actually went into that path, and I know how it is. I know how difficult it is to, you know, pull someone back, get such soul or that person back to life. I would say, like, looking back, would you say that was what bettered your foundation back to life?
Back to life, yeah. Sort of, you know, there's another scripture that I'd been in service a few times, and then you get prophecies that say that you're a voice in this generation. And I'll be looking at voice, wow, what's going on here? I just want to enjoy my salvation. And you are coming to tell me voice. And so I'd heard that from a couple of meetings. I'd heard that too many times. And then even Apostle O had told me at some point that, you know, you could actually start helping people. And then once in a while, people bring up people come and meet me and say, my daughter, my son. So I decided, okay, you know what, let's just go and register the NGO first. And so that's when we gave it the Back to Life.
Wow.
I thought of Back to Life. However, it wasn't life that I was talking about. It was the light of God. And so I decided, no, Back to Light Foundation. And that's how the name came about.
Wow. That's profound and that's big. I've seen some of the things you do on Instagram, on IG and Facebook, you sharing how you've helped lives. And there was a particular story of a guy that I saw that you shared of how he left substance. He was helping you with your work and was in Abuja. He had to travel all the way. I don't know from what state. He had to come all the way for one of those outreaches you do. So I was like, wow, how, like, it's definitely, there's power in the light, and I feel like that's what pulls people back, and that's what keeps people, sustains people, you know, besides doing every other thing. Absolutely. So, you know, thank you so much for that, man. But what would you say has been your greatest lesson? What would you, in this journey of transformation, what would you say?
My greatest lesson, I don't even know. I'm sure there are quite a number of lessons. But however, one thing I would say is that life is in session. Be present. I always tell young people that we always think that we have time. It was one day before we knew it was 13 years. So one moment that of indiscretion, of not being present in your own life, can spiral you down, and who knows if you will come out of it.
So people haven't.
So life is in session. Be present. Be present. Do what you are meant to do.
Wow.
Be where you are meant to be. And as much as I will not, I ask my secondary school friends, you guys knew Jesus early, why didn't you tell us? And one of them told me outright, if I told you, not listen, you know how you were. And that's true. I'm not saying that you should now become spirit, cocoa and everything. But be present and understand that there is a God that has your life in his hands. And you must stay connected to him. Because time is an illusion.
Wow.
Be present.
Be present. You heard her. Be present in your own life. I think that. I think I'll hold on to that. I'm holding on to that. Be present, because sometimes we just go through life and just
autopilot.
Yeah, autopilot, that's the word. You just keep going with the flow, but there's nothing, you're not actually present in your life. And that's why most times you don't have people breathing purpose, because they're just
coasting. Yes.
Coasting. And like Apostle will say, you're zoozooing. You're just
anywhere belly face. You just say, hey, this is where they're going now, let's go. This is where they're going now. It may not be popular.
Yeah.
It may not be popular.
It's usually not popular.
But please, be present. Be present, because time, the way time goes is very scary. I do therapy now. So sometimes you'll be talking to some people and they will tell you how much, I don't know where the time went. I don't know where the time went. I saw it happen with me. So I can relate to what they're saying, that they don't know where the time went. However, they say any day you wake up is your morning. That's why some of us ask God, collapse time for us. But when you are, while you are praying for God to collapse time for you, you now find out that there's a sense of urgency. You always feel like you're in a hurry. You need to catch up. You need to do this. And it puts a lot of us under pressure. So if you can, if you're young, if if you can, please be present in your life. Nobody says you shouldn't play. Nobody says you shouldn't have fun. Have all the fun that you want to have. But while you are having fun, please be present. That's why some people will say stuff like watch and pray.
Yeah.
So while you are praying, keep your eyes open. Yeah.
This session, this whole show is about activating your dream, and no one, you cannot possibly activate a dream if you're not even present.
Absolutely.
There's no dream to activate. There's no you without a vision. So, and that's why we always admonish and advise, encourage people, especially if you're young. Even if you're old, you still have to catch up, of course. But like you said, there's always a sense of urgency when you know you've lost time. But also, don't lose hope, because God is also a restorer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it would collapse years for
Absolutely.
you.